The reason you're unhappy with yourself is not because you have poor mental health. It's not because someone did something to you. It's not because something happened to you. It's because you're not keeping the promises that you make to yourself. The reason you're not happy is your fault. Yeah, sure, there are external tragedies that happen in our lives that are technically outside of our control, but how you react to those things is completely in your control. The reason you feel unmotivated, depressed, sad is your fault. You can choose not to feel that way through your actions. So what do I mean by this? Everyone has shit that they go through, but it's your choice on how you react to those things. Just a few months ago, I lost a family member who I was really close to. And yeah, I was depressed, unmotivated, sad, and all of that, but that's normal. However, what I did on a day-to-day basis did not change. I know some of you guys are gonna sit there and say, oh, that's so insensitive, how could you? Yeah, I went to the gym. Yeah, I filmed content. Did I feel like doing those things? Absolutely not. But I knew that once I got those tasks done, that I was gonna be able to cope with the situation significantly better. And my parents, my family, everyone around me understood. So I keep the promises I make to myself no matter how I feel, no matter what happens in my life. The reason you're unhappy with yourself is because you're not keeping the promises you make to yourself. You're letting the smallest inconvenience get you completely off track. You know, something bad happens in your life, you fall back into vices, you start smoking weed, you start drinking alcohol, watching porn. You start doing shit to numb the pain, and that's only gonna make the situation worse. But look, man, I'm not perfect. The old version of myself, when I would go through some sort of tragedy in my life, I would fall back into vices, and that just made my situations way worse. Not only did I feel regret from doing the vice, but I also had to deal with the sadness of dealing from the external tragedy. I would fall off track and I would hurt my overall confidence and well-being. I would break the promises I made to myself. And in the moment when you do it, it might not feel like much, but when you start stacking up those lies and lies to yourself over a long period of time, that is gonna fuck with your head. That's how you start hating yourself and not feeling confident. Like if you're overweight, you're fat, you tell yourself you're gonna hit the gym, you tell yourself you're gonna wake up early, you tell yourself you're gonna stop eating fast food 3 times a fucking day. Yet you never do any of those things. And then you find excuses on why you're not doing those things. Like you are lying to yourself every single time you make a promise to yourself and don't fulfill it. Like if you're in a relationship with someone and they're lying to you every single fucking day, would you stay in that relationship? Probably not. At least I hope not. Because you wouldn't trust them. So why is it that you're okay with lying to yourself every single day? That's a question for you to answer for yourself, honestly. I know for me, I didn't have the self-belief that I could do the things that I actually wanted to do in life. Like you cannot love yourself if you're constantly lying to yourself. Like if you're fat, then you do not love yourself. That is showing that you do not take care of yourself. If you actually started hitting the gym and making your health a priority, I promise your entire life will change. Your confidence will improve, your happiness will improve, people will treat you with much more respect. Every positive thing in your life will excel. Yet you don't do any of that, so all the things in your life regress. The problems aren't the external forces that happen in your life. It's the fact that you let them get you off track and so you don't keep the promises you make to yourself. Again, no matter what happens in life, you need to stick to your process. It's normal to feel sad and depressed after some sort of tragedy or death in the family. What is really gonna separate the winners from the losers is how you react to that and how your actions change. Or don't change, I should say. Like you need to start taking ownership of all the problems and things that happen in your life. Like if you're fat, it's not your parents' fault. If you're broke, it's not your friend's fault. If you're not confident, it's not your ex's fault. So much fucking changed for me once I started taking ownership of all my problems. And I can tell you from experience that if you start taking ownership of your problems and taking ownership of your situation, then you will become a new man. I promise you that. You will never be happy and confident if you're always blaming your problems on shit that's not yourself. You can take as many vape hits as you want, smoke as much weed as you want, drink as much alcohol as you want, and you will never be happy because you are not taking control of your life. People don't care about your situation, which is why you need to be the one who does something about it. No one else is gonna come fucking save you. You can sit there and complain all you want, but what is that gonna do for you? I can tell you from experience, it's not gonna do shit. No matter how many friends you try to hit up, tell them about your situation, yeah, they might feel sorry for you and everything like that, but why do you want fucking people feeling sorry for you? That's not gonna help you. I know for me, when I would complain to my friends or family or something, I just felt like I was bothering them because really they couldn't do anything to help me. I had to help myself. So now I really never complain to my friends or family or anyone because I know that I'm the one who can solve all my problems. As men, we like to have control over our lives. That is what's gonna give you confidence and happiness. Your problems are your fault, which means you can solve them. You just need to keep the promises you make to yourself and never lose sight of what you're actually trying to achieve. Like everyone just gets way too fucking distracted these days. Like I used to have a problem with drugs and alcohol, and I would wonder why I wasn't happy. It's because I was always chasing the wrong shit and trying to run away from my problems. Coping with vices is never the answer. You know, I would try to say my problems weren't my fault, yet there I am neglecting my health and my well-being, which makes absolutely no sense. You will never be happy with yourself, confident, or just happy in general if you never take ownership of your problems and blame yourself. So if you've made it this far in the video, I'm willing to bet that you've resonated with at least one or a couple of the points I mentioned in this video, and that you know you aren't working towards your fullest potential, at least yet. So if you're in that situation, I need you to understand that you can absolutely do it. And you can turn your life around pretty quickly. Like for me, it's been about 5 months since I've been drug and alcohol free. which doesn't even seem that long. I mean, yeah, time has really flown ever since I stopped doing that stuff, but my life has changed so much in just the last 5 months. But really, it all starts back in the mind. Like, you have to make the mental commitment that you want to get this done, that you are capable of doing this. And once you do that, make the mental commitment and set your mind to it, I promise you, you will become a completely different person, and your entire life will fucking change.